May 20th, 2026, myself and my caregiver Austin were taking some recyclables and a small amount of trash out to the alley of the Granger Building apartments where I live in downtown Lincoln, Nebraska. As we were approaching the recycle and trash dumpsters, there were about 3 or 4 rock doves hanging out in the area, and all but one easily flew away as we approached. That was my first indication something wasn't quite right with the bird left behind. Austin and I both slowly worked around this bird to finish what we intended to do while observing the bird's reaction. From a distance, I could see this dove looked pretty disheveled in his face and head. Something was distorted on their beak, and there were severely missing feathers, creating a balding on their head. Despite all this, he or she was very alert of our presence. Information taken from 11 sources, chosen by an online search, supports pigeons are brilliant, emotionally complex, and resilient birds that were domesticated by humans for millennia. They possess extraordinary cognitive abilities, deep family devotion, and a rich history of heroism that makes them highly deserving of our respect. I shared that last paragraph because there are people who view doves and pigeons as pests, using derogatory names such as sky rats, feathered rats, flying cockroaches, and ghetto chickens. Unfortunately, a person's perception of another sentient being will determine if they are going to be a rescuer or not even pause to consider giving their time to come to their aid. I believe empathy is always the answer, and that is all that is needed. I don't need to judge an animal's worth in comparison to mine or others to be an instrument of needed aid. The cool thing is, when we come to the aid of other sentient beings and allow them the right to exist, it does not deplete our reserves of empathy, love, kindness, peace, freedom, because these things are not like money, possessions, and wealth that all have limitations. Focusing back on the rock dove story, my caregiver Austin took the pictures of the dove in the alley, and I sent them to my friend Elisha. Elisha responded very promptly and energized to make the trip downtown with her partner Grant for an immediate rescue. I was worried that since I chose not to discover a way to contain the rock dove, that by the time the rescue crew arrived, the dove may have relocated. Thankfully, that did not happen, and it was safely captured and brought to a local wildlife rescue. Elisha reported to me that it was an adolescent rock dove that had pigeon pox, but in approximately 2 to 4 weeks, this little character will be ready to be released. These pictures of my feathered friend reminded me of a teenager experiencing acne breakouts that will disappear or be much less as an adult. My final vegan message is this: if you ever personally come across an animal needing aid, please don't turn away. Do big good and help any way possible. Afterwards, reflect on the good feelings surfacing within you as a result of your rescuer actions. This may be the perfect time for you to level up and be lovingly consistent with all sentient beings in your life. Every day and every meal you choose to leave animals and their secretion off of your plate and off of your menu selection, you will be doing the least possible damage to all earthlings. I think you'll be able to tap into those rescuer good feelings because you will no longer be contributing money to support a violent industry. Each and every person doing this makes a difference, and we collectively grow. As of May 20th, 2026, I have been vegan 10 years, 5 months, and 20 days. There's different ways to think about this, but I have either spared the lives of 2,090 animals or prevented the creation of this number to be bred into existence solely for food. Either way, I am part of a market that will absolutely not support or tolerate the exploitation of any sentient being. You don't need to join some group or take on a title. Just simply live and lead others to live with empathy as the guide. Thank you, and vegan peace and love.